One man is in custody after threatening staff at a local vet clinic and animal shelter. This morning, a pet owner became aggressive after hearing the price it would cost for his pet rottweiler to get emergency surgery. The Greater Huntsville Humane Society says after threatening the lives of workers at the clinic, he left the scene and headed towards the Humane Society. The clinic staff called Huntsville police, who got to the Humane Society at the same time as the pet's owner.
That quick thinking on their end of like, well, he said he was going to, the Humane Society, so we're going to call the cops. And that way, that helped us out so much because the Huntsville PD just pulled in right behind him.
The Greater Huntsville Humane Society will be back open tomorrow. Huntsville Animal Services took the dog in to perform emergency surgery.